What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Jermell Charlo versus Jeison Rosario, which will be a 12-rounder for the WBC, IBF, and WBA Super-Welterweight World Championship, and this fight will be Saturday, September 26th, from the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. We broadcast it on Showtime, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, and it'll be on pay-per-view. What a great card they have lined up. Both Charlo brothers defending their belts. Jeison Rosario going up against Jermell Charlo for the unified Super-Welterweight World Championship, and Jermell Charlo taking on Sergey Derevyanchenko for the WBC Middleweight World Championship. And to get into both fighters, the unified world champion fighting out of the Dominican Republic, Jeison Rosario has a record of 20-1 with 1 draw and 14 wins by knockout. BoxRec has him ranked number 7, which is a little low for a unified world champion. I have him a little higher at number 3. I do think he's one of the best in the world. Possibly number 2. As right now, whereas Landy Lara is going a little lower on my rankings, but he is coming off an excellent win, probably his best win on his resume, definitely his best win on his resume, over Julian Williams, who is coming off a win versus Jarrett Hurd. Many people thought this was an easy win for Williams, but he was able to pull off the upset, knocking Williams out in a very close fight. It wouldn't even have been bad if you had Rosario ahead in that fight. I mean, he looked great. He looked solid. He had good endurance, good speed, great power, and he was able to get the job done, hurting Williams in the 5th round. Williams stumbled to the ground. Referee called it a slip, came back up, huge uppercut, and the referee stopped the fight. Beautiful knockout, and just beautiful finishing from Jeison Rosario. He looked hungry. Right as he hurt him, he came right on Williams and just got the job done. But one thing to compare Charlo and Rosario to is that their fight versus Jorge Cota. Jermell Charlo, his fight versus Jorge Cota, he knocked him out in 3 rounds. 3 rounds. But Jeison Rosario's fight versus Jorge Cota, it was a split decision, very close fight. So that's one thing to compare there, as Jermell Charlo made very quick work of Jorge Cota. Cota didn't even land a shot. He dropped him like 3 times, pummeled him. I didn't really get to see the fight between Rosario and Cota, but just from seeing the scorecards on BoxRec and just looking up the fight, I mean, it seemed very, very close. And Rosario's only draw on his resume is against Mark Anthony Hernandez, but he was able to come back, knocking Mark Anthony Hernandez out in their rematch. And that's also a great win on his resume, and same with the Jorge Cota win, but his only blemish was against Nathaniel Gallimore by TKO, and that's sort of a bad loss, being that Gallimore was coming off a KO loss to Sebastian Fundora, and right now has about like 5 or 6 losses on his resume right now. But Rosario also has some wins over undefeated talent Jamonte Clark, and he has a unanimous decision win over Justin DeLoach. And yeah, that's really it for his resume. But to get into his opponent, Jermell Charlo, 33-1 with 17 wins by knockout. BoxRec has him ranked number 1 in the world. He is currently the WBC Super-Welterweight World Champion. He won his title against John Jackson, and it was vacant at the time, knocking him out. But before that, he had a win versus seasoned veteran Gabe Rosado. Sorry about that. But as I said before, he did knock out John Jackson to win the WBC Super-Welterweight World title. And one thing John Jackson is known for is getting knocked out, especially against Andy Lee. What a knockout that was. But more into Jermell Charlo. He defended his title for the first time, I believe, against Charles Hadley. And then he took on Erickson Lubin, knocking him out early for his 2nd title defense. Then, in arguably one of his best wins, he beat Austin Trout by majority decision. And that was his 3rd title defense. Then he took on Tony Superbad Harrison in December of 2018. He did lose that fight on paper, but I thought he won that fight comfortably. I scored at 117-111 for Jermell Charlo, winning that fight against Tony Harrison. Judges obviously didn't agree with that. Gave it to Tony Harrison by unanimous decision. In my opinion, I call that a super robbery, as I thought Jermell really won that fight. But then he came back, knocking Jorge Cota out, as I said before, brutally, dropping him multiple times in the 3rd round. Then he rematched Tony Harrison in December, knocking him out even better than the Jorge Cota fight. Huge uppercuts. I mean, he was just throwing that uppercut shot. He stunned him with the hook in the 3rd round. He landed the hook on the temple, dropping Tony Harrison. Then in the 11th round, he just a flurry of uppercuts and hooks put Harrison down. He came back up. He was getting pounded in the corner. Referee stopped the fight. It was a great win for Jermell Charlo, but in that fight I did have Tony Harrison winning on my scorecard. I know the judges had Jermell ahead, but I know some other boxing YouTubers had Jermell winning some of the rounds, but not most of them. They mostly had Tony Harrison ahead, agreeing with my analysis. But overall, I think Jermell should get the job done, picking up all three of these titles. He is currently WBC champion, as I said before. And I think it will be great, being that we could possibly have an undisputed champion. Because this fight, two PBC guys, obviously they could make this fight, but the other guy in the division is Patrick Teixeira, who in my opinion, no offense to him and his team, but I think he's a bum. I think either of these guys could knock Patrick Teixeira out easily. And yeah, I don't think that fight could happen anytime soon, being that Teixeira is a top-ranked fighter. These two guys are PBC. But my prediction for this fight is probably Jermell Charlo to knock Jeison Rosario out, just like Nathaniel Gallimore did, or get a unanimous decision win. I don't really see Jeison Rosario knocking Charlo out, as Charlo, in my opinion, has an iron chin. He is called the Iron Man. But it's just because of the guys he's fought, he's never been dropped nor stopped, obviously, and his only loss was by robbery, in my opinion, and many other opinions out there. But overall, I think Jermell would get the job done, possibly if it's a stoppage, maybe from round 6 to round 8 or 9 for Jermell to get the stoppage win. But it's most likely going to be a unanimous decision win for Jermell Charlo, and he will become the unified Super-Welterweight king. And yeah, he should improve to 34-1. And Jeison Rosario, if he loses this fight, I'm not sure if he could win a title again. I mean, that was his golden opportunity versus Julian Williams. Now he's in the spotlight, and I'm not sure if he could pull through. And I got to say, both guys, credit to them. They look great the weigh-in, always coming in shape. And I'm excited for this fight, excited for this whole card. Great fights, Saturday, September 26th. And it'll definitely be a moment I'll never forget. And yeah, that's really it. I'm going to be boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.